YouTube, bonjour les gens de la VOD, je suis malade et aujourd'hui on se retrouve pour jouer à un de mes jeux préférés de la vie du monde, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Je vais tout d'abord vous mettre l'intro du jeu sur YouTube puisqu'elle n'est pas dans mon jeu et ensuite on se lance dans ce chef-d'œuvre. Voilà. En plus j'y ai pas joué depuis longtemps, je suis contente, je suis vraiment contente. Alors... mettre le son quand même. C'est parti.
What a thrill with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. Someday you go through the rain, and someday you'll feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial to survive. For the day we see new light, I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
Quelle merveille, putain. Sachez que c'est une chanson que j'écoute au premier degré dans ma vie. Incroyable. J'aime beaucoup le fait qu'elle dise « Someday you will feed on a tree frog ». Et vous allez voir maintenant la meilleure intro d'un jeu Metal Gear. Ce qui va être merveilleux. J'aime MGS3. Allez, on joue en normal, on va pas se surestimer. Je vous laisse savourer cette merveille.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Alors nous sommes en 1964. Pour la première fois, un jeu Metal Gear ne se passe pas dans le futur, mais dans le passé. On est 41 ans avant Metal Gear Solid 1. Alors vous allez me dire, mais Solid Snake est très vieux en fait. Et je vous répondrai que ce n'est pas Solid Snake.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask.
Oh, il a pas le bandana.
Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Ah, il est si cool.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Sunrise.
La musique est incroyable.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout model.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
Vous aussi, vous vous êtes pissé dessus de joie ou c'est que moi?
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the Virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the Virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau,
Le
one
sang
of the
Sokolov.
Soviet's top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story, so why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba. And so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No. According to our intelligence, he's in Selinoyarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Wouhou! Il est toujours en train de tomber.
The
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino Yask in the Soviet mountains, ensure the
Si, je
safety
peux
of
voir en vue
Sokolov, and bring
subjective.
him back to the west. If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking. Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the
Ah,
theory.
le Fulton, on va en entendre parler dans les jeux qui vont venir.
It's been combat proof.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat Talon?
She's equipped with two 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as two 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast,
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Bonjour. Ça va? On se fait un petit café après? Allez. Ce vieux sourire qu'il lui a fait. Je suis sûr que tout va bien se passer. Mais oui! Y'a pas de raison. Ça commence bien. Waouh! Incroyable. Il a fait le même atterrissage que Solid Snake dans le 2. Quand il a sauté du pont. Oh, Snake, fais-moi l'amour. Ça lui va tellement bien en plus, le treillis.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This
Ouais, comme la
will be a
chanson
sneaking mission.
de David Bowie.
You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see.
Ouais, c'est juste une radio, du
you
coup.
better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see
quand même le
it
faire
from
bouger.
here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action
Action
button.
button.
I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
Obligé de perdre son équipement pour être le vrai Naked Snake. Alors je vais vous montrer un truc incroyable. Ah non, j'ai pas encore mon flingue. Je peux pas le faire encore. Hihi, je suis Snake. Et vous avez vu? La caméra en full 3D pour la première fois. Normalement, la caméra d'origine du jeu, c'était ça. Et quand ils avaient fait l'édition spéciale, on a pu avoir cette caméra-là. Et c'est magique. Ouais, on a que lui. On a que Major Tom. Alors. Ok, le sac est là-bas. Alors attendez, parce que j'ai un ralentissement quand même. Que j'avais pas quand je jouais sans stream. Donc c'est bien le stream qui bouffe de la ressource. Ça, je vais couper. Et ça. Hop. À cause de nous. J'ai commencé Lost hier et il y a un mec dans une jungle concierge. Ouais, c'est un peu mieux. Ah, vous voyez, j'ai une barre de vie, mais j'ai une autre barre en dessous. Yahoo! Oula, oula.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from Item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right.
Oula.
Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop.
Les oiseaux, ils
If your
sont partis en
stamina
boucle.
gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun.
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're
Snake qui critique les choix de
The
game
military
design.
and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So, how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
Oh là là.
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive.
Ça rame, hein. Oh là là. Oui. Je suis désolé, hein, du coup j'ai coupé les dialogues par accident, mais ça n'avançait plus. En parlant de cette serpent, tu te souviens de The Boss, n'est-ce pas? Un soldat de légende et ton mentor. En fait, c'est The Boss qui a d'abord obtenu l'autorisation du chef de la CIA. On était préparé cette mission, elle et moi. Nous étions ensemble dans les SAS. Attendez les amis, faut que j'aille aux toilettes en plus. Je reviens. Est-ce que, quand je parle, vous entendez derrière moi le ventilateur de l'ordi qui fait un bruit d'aspirateur? Ou ça va? Parce que moi, dans mon retour, il fait énormément de bruit. Genre, on dirait qu'on passe l'aspirateur derrière moi. Oui, on entend? Putain de merde. Parce que je l'ai mis à fond. Quand ça reviendra au gameplay, j'essaierai de trifouiller un peu dedans. On va continuer cette discussion par radio, donc. Jack, c'est toi? Dis donc, ça fait une bonne paye, hein? Boss? Oui, c'est moi. Parle-moi, que j'entende ta voix. Cela fait 5 ans, 72 jours et 18 heures, oh là là! Tu as maigri? Tu peux dire ça rien qu'au son de ma voix? Bien sûr, je sais tout de toi. Ah, vraiment? Eh bien, je ne sais rien de toi. Et oui, c'est pour ça qu'il y a tout marqué en unknown. Qu'est-ce que cela veut dire? Pourquoi est-ce que tu as disparu comme ça, sans rien dire? J'étais dans une mission classée secret défense. Tu n'avais plus besoin de moi. Mais tu avais encore tellement de choses à m'apprendre. Non, je t'ai appris tout ce que tu devais savoir sur les techniques de combat. Je t'ai enseigné tout ce que je pouvais. Le reste, tu devais l'apprendre tout seul. La technique, oui, mais penser comme un soldat, qu'est-ce que tu en fais? J'ai pas fait trop de jeux Konami, donc j'ai pas trop la rêve du fait de pas aimer Konami, mais maintenant je vois. Ah, c'est une catastrophe. Dites-vous, là, les MGS2 et 3, ils ont juste copié les portages qu'il y avait eu sur PS3. C'est les versions PS3 du jeu. Voilà. Ils ont rien changé. Oui. Comment penser comme un soldat? Ça, je ne peux pas te l'apprendre. Un soldat doit être fort physiquement, mentalement et techniquement. La technique, c'est la seule chose qu'on puisse enseigner. En fait, la technique, ce n'est pas le plus important. L'important, c'est le mental. Le mental et le physique, c'est comme les deux côtés d'une même médaille. Je ne peux pas t'apprendre à penser. Tu vas devoir l'apprendre tout seul. Écoute-moi, Jack. Ce n'est pas parce que les soldats sont du même côté qu'ils le seront à tout jamais. Avoir des sentiments personnels pour tes camarades, c'est l'un des pires péchés que tu puisses commettre. C'est la politique qui détermine tes ennemis sur le champ de bataille. Et la politique, c'est vivant, ça évolue au fil du temps. Ce qui est bien aujourd'hui sera peut-être mal demain. C'est pour ça que tu m'as abandonné. Non, ça n'avait rien à voir avec toi, Jack. J'étais en mission secret défense. Donc il s'appelle Jack. Un soldat doit suivre les ordres qu'on lui donne, il n'a pas à se poser de questions. Mais toi, tu cherches une raison pour te battre. Tu es un battant né, mais pas vraiment un soldat. Un soldat est un outil politique, rien de plus. C'est d'autant plus vrai pour les soldats de carrière. Le vrai et le faux n'ont aucune place dans leur mission. Ils n'ont ni amis, ni ennemis, seulement leur mission. Tu dois suivre les ordres qui te sont donnés. C'est ça, être un soldat. Je fais ce qui est nécessaire pour terminer mon boulot. La politique, je n'y pense pas. Ce n'est pas pareil. Un jour ou l'autre, tu auras mauvaise conscience. Au bout du compte, tu dois choisir. Soit tu vis comme un soldat, soit comme n'importe quel type avec un fusil. Il y a un dicton en Orient, loyal jusqu'à la fin. Tu sais ce que ça veut dire? Être patriote.
Metal Gear.
Cela signifie se dévouer à son pays. Moi, je suis aux ordres du président et des dirigeants du pays, et prêt à mourir pour eux si nécessaire. Le président et les dirigeants ne seront pas toujours là. Un jour, d'autres prendront leur place. Je suis la volonté du leader, quel qu'il soit. Les hommes ne sont pas ceux qui dictent les missions. Alors c'est qui? Les époques. Les valeurs changent au fil des ans, tout comme les dirigeants d'un pays. Dans l'absolu, les notions d'ennemis n'existent pas. Les ennemis que nous combattons changent avec le temps. Tant que nous restons loyaux jusqu'à la fin, il n'y aura aucune raison de croire en personne, ni même en ceux qu'on aime. Et c'est ça la façon dont un soldat devrait penser. La seule chose dans laquelle nous pouvons avoir une certitude absolue, c'est notre mission, Jack. Ok, mais rends-moi un service. Oui, qu'est-ce que c'est? Appelle-moi Snake. Snake? Ah bon, ton nom de code c'est Snake? Ça te va bien. Oui, l'unité légendaire... Pardon, je prends des voix, mais... Oui, l'unité légendaire mise en place par The Boss pendant la Deuxième Guerre mondiale était l'unité Cobra, un autre serpent. Un autre serpent que le Snake. Un groupe de héros qui ont mis un terme à la guerre et ont sauvé le monde. Tant qu'un héros de légende est derrière toi, Tu n'as aucun souci à te faire, pas vrai, Snake? Ouais. Je ne pouvais pas tomber mieux. Oh, et encore une chose, boss. Oui? Ça me fait plaisir d'entendre encore ta voix. Pareil pour moi. Après tout, on ne sait pas si l'on va s'en sortir vivant. Snake... Ah, l'ambiance revient. Snake, ton point fort, ça a toujours été l'infiltration et la guérilla urbaine. Mais là, tu es dans la jungle. Ta survie est essentielle. Les techniques de combat rapprochées, le CQC que je t'ai enseigné, vont sûrement être utiles. Le CQC, le combat rapproché... J'ai été autrefois dans les bérets verts, mais je suis probablement plus à niveau. Ne t'inquiète pas, je suis là pour te rafraîchir la mémoire. Après tout, c'est ta première mission réelle de survie. Je vais t'aider par contact radio. Où es-tu, boss? À côté du Major. The Boss communique avec nous par radio. Il est dans l'océan Arctique, à bord d'un sous-marin de classe Permit. Ma fréquence, c'est le 141-80. Si tu as besoin d'aide sur les techniques de combat, appelle-moi. C'est noté. Ta mission est de retrouver le docteur Sokolov. Sokolov est retenu prisonnier dans une usine désaffectée au nord de ta situation actuelle. Évite tout combat important, et ne te fais pas remarquer. N'oublie pas que c'est une mission furtive. Ok.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Je peux enfin arrêter de parler. Pointe ton gros flingue sur moi.
Commencing Vertueuse mission now.
Coucou Tripixel. Je suis balade. Ok alors, regardez un peu ce suricate. Hop là. Humain, suricate. Humain, suricate. Humain, suricate. C'est incroyable, hein. Non, c'est pas le Covid, c'est un rhume que j'ai chopé de Zoé qu'il a eu avant. Tout va bien. Vu que c'est la radio qui lag. Non, la radio, c'est moi qui ai causé un problème. Ok. Bon, c'est déjà plus fluide que tout à l'heure. Allez, c'est parti. Oh putain. Il y a un serpent. Let's go. Anaconda géant. Bon, on n'a pas besoin de manger pour le moment. On va sauvegarder une première fois.
Saving the game, Snake?
Tu veux voir mon anaconda géant? Mon Make It Snake?
Hey, Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla, King of Monsters?
No, what is it?
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo,
Le Oxygen Destroyer.
obliterating everything in its path. It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the chance. It's mostly mindless fun, but it's also got a serious anti-nuke message as well.
Where can I see the original?
You'll just have to go to Japan.
Really? That's too bad.
Well, if you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies?
Of course! Everybody loves Godzilla.
You sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Okay, then I'll tell you everything I know. When the going gets tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
Donc voilà, elle, quand on sauvegarde, elle nous parle de films.
I see you've captured a giant anaconda. The giant anaconda is believed to be the largest snake in the world in terms of weight and diameter. It's not poisonous, but its large size makes it extremely powerful. They say it even eats crocodiles. Its only natural predator is man.
And snake.
And snake.
Got it.
Moi
So how does it
aussi.
taste?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Glad I didn't disappoint you. So,
Well, the guide says it tastes all right.
good. I'll have to try some.
Ugh.
Vous inquiétez pas, on en mangera. On peut parler aussi du fait que Snake, il a fait une vanne sur le fait qu'il est exposé à des radiations et du coup il a une bite énorme. Attends. Est-ce que je peux déjà faire ça? Oui! Non. Naked Snake! Voilà! Alors, comme vous pouvez voir, on a plein de camouflages différents. On va mettre le Tiger Strip, parce que c'est en vrai le plus approprié. Mais voilà, oui, Naked Snake. Pour de vrai. Bref. Et on a aussi des face paint. Non, c'est pas en masse de Raiden, je vois pas ce que vous voulez dire. Les drapeaux, c'est cursed. Hop là! Les drapeaux, ça vient de l'édition européenne. Le Japon, il est incroyable. Ah, Italie, il y a un bonus de camouflage. Parce qu'il y a du vert. Bref. Alors, il y a du bruit. Je peux tuer des papillons. Non. Oui, c'est ça. Selon la tenue que t'as pas. Tu vois, en haut à droite, t'as mon indice de camouflage. Donc, tu vois, si je m'allonge dans l'air avec le Tiger Strip, je suis à 80%. Ce qui est pas mal. Et là, je suis à 35 parce que je suis debout. Et 25 quand je cours. L'idée, c'est d'avoir l'indice de camouflage le plus élevé pour pouvoir ne pas être vu. Alors, il y a des crocodiles. Ok. Ouais, j'ai enlevé la facepaint parce que je préfère sans rien. Et qu'elles apportent pas des bonus énormes en vrai. Est-ce que je peux tuer le... Allez, crève! Je veux te manger! Yes! Let's go! Écoutez les amis, on est là pour manger. C'est pas des meurtres gratos, c'est pour avoir de quoi se nourrir et survivre.
I see you've captured an Indian gavial. The Indian gavial is a crocodile that originally lived in freshwater regions in India and Nepal.
Why are Indian crocodiles way out here?
They're captive crocodiles that were brought here for research purposes but escaped and became wild again. Indian gavials are large creatures. Adult males grow to over 6 meters in length. You'll never catch one alive, even if you use the tranquilizer gun.
Got it. So, how do they...
Taste? Yes, I did look into that. You know what they always say. Tastes like chicken.
Sounds delicious.
But be careful when capturing an Indian gavial. Normally they're cowardly creatures, but the ones in the forest there are belligerent. Apparently they attack humans.
What do you mean?
They weren't the direct subject of any serious research, but some think they may have become violent as a side effect of the atomic research that was
Bah,
conducted
tiens.
nearby.
C'est Godzilla. Allez, je me casse. Je vais pas en tuer un autre. Mais le poulet, c'est bof. Mais je pense que c'est un moyen de dire ça a un goût osef, quoi. Qu'est-ce que j'ai capturé?
I see you caught yourself a reticulated python. The reticulated python is said to be the longest snake in the world. The biggest ones can grow up to 10 meters in length.
Sa mère, 10 mètres.
Although they're not poisonous, they're still very dangerous, so be careful around them. They have a highly ferocious temperament, and they can swallow whole, even large animals like deer and pigs. Their most distinguishing feature is the mesh pattern of their scales. This pattern acts as a highly effective natural camouflage. If you think there might be a reticulated python about, pay close attention to your surroundings. Otherwise, you could get bitten before you even know it's there.
Right. But how do they taste?
Huh?
Do they taste good?
You're actually going to eat one.
Why else would I be asking?
Cannibal.
What was that?
Nothing. Let's see what the guide says. Ah, you're in luck. It says they taste pretty good.
Good. I can hardly wait.
Ugh.
Il est si bête. C'est vraiment un abruti, j'adore. Du coup, voilà, vous captez, il y a plein d'animaux dans les hautes herbes. Donc c'est quand même un peu chaud de se balader en rampant là-dedans. Il a dit quoi à la fin? Je sais plus. Il avait qu'un objectif, manger tous les animaux.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The Uniform option lets you pick your uniform, while the Face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the Camo Index. The Camo Index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
Ouais. Vas-y, boss, donne-moi des conseils de CQC.
Camouflage is an indispensable tool when you're sneaking through the jungle. To use
Oui, non, mais c'est bon. Vas-y, continue à dire camouflage. J'avoue, elle le dit d'une manière un peu sexy.
Just my imagination.
Je vole son matos. Et hop, on va le cacher dans l'herbe.
Just my imagination.
Let's go. Oh merde, j'avais pas vu qu'il y en avait un autre. Courage pour la
You
réunion.
found a Yabloko Maloko.
Yamlo, what now?
Yabloko Maloko. It's a Russian name that roughly translates as milk apple.
Moloko, c'est
It's a
lait en
type of
russe.
star apple. The juice is thick and sweet, like milk, hence the name. And if you cut one in half lengthwise, you'll see a star-shaped ring radiating out from the center.
Hence the star apple.
Right. The star-shaped part has a gelatinous texture and is said to be especially tasty.
Sounds useful.
You're welcome.
For once.
Did you say something?
No, back to the mission.
For once. Quel petit con. Vraiment, il cherche les embrouilles, hein. C'est vraiment une tête de con. Let's go, on prend. Ah, super. Oh, je l'avais pas vu. C'est l'ado rebelle. Mais je crois qu'il est censé être assez jeune. Hein. C'est un rookie à ce stade. Oh. Faites pas attention. C'est un kérotane. C'est de collectibles. Faut tous les trouver. Je les trouverai pas tous.
I see you found some Siberian ink cap mushrooms. The Siberian ink cap is a mushroom from the ink cap family. Its life cycle is transitory. As soon as the spores mature, the cap starts to turn black, liquefy, and melt away.
And that's why they call it an ink cap?
Does it
That's
taste
right.
good?
It doesn't really turn to liquid, but you get the idea. In its immature state, before it melts away, it's valued as a source of food. Just be sure not to eat them while you're drinking alcohol.
Why's that?
Ink caps contain coprin, which inhibits the function of aldehyde dehydrogenase. This prevents the body from breaking down alcohol, causing a buildup of acetaldehyde.
Meaning?
Meaning it will give you the hangover from hell.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
What?
You think I'd drink alcohol in the middle of a mission?
Wouldn't you?
Hell no.
Well, I'm knocking a shot back now. Just teasing you.
No.
Oh, come on. Where's your sense of humor?
I need a drink.
C'est un des trucs qui fait que j'aime beaucoup ce jeu, c'est que le support staff est super drôle.
Sokolov should be at the abandoned.
Oui, bon, toi t'es pas intéressant.
Visibility is poor in the jungle, so you'll be finding yourself in a lot of unexpected encounters. Naturally, this means that close quarters combat will be more important than ever.
So I'll have plenty of chances to use CQC then.
That's right. In proximity encounters, firing a gun isn't necessarily the best response to every situation. It's only one option among many. Rather than taking the time to draw, aim, and fire a gun, engaging your opponent in hand-to-hand combat can sometimes be a faster and more reliable way of subduing him. Besides, in a sneaking mission like this one, it's too dangerous to go around firing your gun. You'll end up revealing yourself to the enemy.
Yeah, I know. You created CQC to deal with exactly this type of situation.
With your help, of course. In a battle situation, you'll only have a split second to decide how to attack. Use the weapon button to attack using a weapon, and the CQC button to attack using CQC. Press the CQC button once to throw a punch. Pressing it multiple times in succession will allow you to deliver a combo attack.
J'arrive pour
But
l'explication.
striking your opponent is just one aspect of CQC. It doesn't really start to shine until you've got your enemy in a hold. Press and hold down the CQC button to grab your opponent with your right hand. From there, you can use the left stick to knock your opponent off balance and throw him to the ground. This can be used to knock an opponent out in a single blow. If you don't press the left stick, grapple with your enemy until you're behind them and can get your knife to their throat. Grabbing an enemy from behind and holding your knife against his throat will render him virtually powerless. From this point, there are several things you can do. By double-clicking the left stick button, you can slit his throat by using your knife. Move the left stick and press the CQC button to throw the enemy to the ground. Tap the CQC button rapidly to choke the enemy. You can use this to knock him out or even kill him if you do it long enough. By continuing to hold down the CQC button, you can move around while keeping your grip on the enemy. By pressing the weapon button, you can aim your currently equipped weapon at another enemy. With their comrade acting as a human shield, the enemy will be reluctant to attack you. Press the left stick button to press your knife against the enemy and demand information. You'll be surprised at how much you can learn this way. But don't get too complacent. While your enemy may be powerless in your grip, he'll use any opportunity he can to counterattack.
Alors, le CQC, ça veut dire Close Quarter Combat, donc combat rapproché. En gros, c'est une discipline de combat militaire américaine qui consiste à incapaciter l'adversaire le plus rapidement possible et en effectuant le moins d'efforts possible. Je vais vous montrer après, je vais le faire sur lui. Mais ça se rapproche par exemple du systéma russe ou du Krav Maga israélien. À la différence près que le systéma et le Krav Maga, le but c'est de tuer l'adversaire le plus facilement possible, alors que là il s'agit plus de le désarmer et de l'incapaciter. Allez, réveille-toi. Réveille-toi! Voilà. Donc c'est parti, CQC. Voilà, ça c'est du CQC. Alors après, je peux faire d'autres trucs. Évidemment, il y a ce combo-là que je pourrais lui faire quand il est debout, mais je vais pas le faire. Parce que j'ai d'autres trucs à montrer. Je veux frimer un peu. Voilà. Je peux les tenir.
Speak. Hornets. They're terrifying. Speak. Crocodiles taste great. Answer me. Throw a grenade into a crocodile's mouth. Speak. You lousy.
J'adore parce que vraiment elle nous a vendu ça comme tu vas avoir des infos utiles. Oui, bon, il va me dire que c'est bon le crocodile quoi. Allez, c'est parti. Dolino Vodno. Bon, je vais pas m'amuser à lire tous les noms en russe, hein. Des frelons. Le sourire de bâtard. Je vais lui niquer la gueule. Je crois que je l'ai jamais fait en vrai ça. Alors déjà il y a un carotane là-bas. Donc là il va se faire attaquer. Et il a foui. Est-ce que du coup les autres vont fuir avec lui? Oui. Bravo. Ah, il faudrait que je mange. Je pense qu'il est temps de goûter du gavial. Merci les frelons. Vous imaginez tomber de là? Ce serait regrettable? Oula. Mieux vaut ne pas y penser si vous voulez mon avis. C'est vraiment très haut. Hein. Bon, je récupère un max de bouffe. Hein. On sait jamais. Razvet.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump.
Ouais, la bouffe, ça remplace la ration. Et du coup, toutes les bouffes n'ont pas le même intérêt.
See Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
J'aime bien parce que le Major, il a vraiment un lien personnel avec Sokolov, genre. Il a de la peine de l'avoir laissé tomber. Parce qu'en plus, c'est vraiment lui qui a dû le ramener à l'ennemi, quoi.
HQ, respond.
This is HQ.
What's wrong? Patrol here. We're under enemy fire. Enemy's position is unknown. Going into alert formation.
Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements. Use extra caution.
Ok. Oh putain, je l'avais pas vu.
What's going on?
Snake le fantôme. On a dit, hein, les Russes ne doivent pas savoir qu'on est venu sur leur territoire. Ok. Donc moi à la base je voulais monter. Oula. Je trouve les explosions de ce jeu très jolies. Il a l'air plus solide que Solid Snake. Alors le truc aussi c'est que voilà, la jauge d'endurance.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We've lost sight of the enemy. Commence alert formation.
La jauge d'endurance fait que ta vie remonte plus vite. Putain de merde.
Pursue and engage him.
Ta vie remonte plus vite quand ta jauge d'endurance est plus élevée. Donc t'as tout intérêt à avoir une jauge d'endurance quand même élevée tout le temps.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. Enemy sighted. Commencing attack.
Acknowledged. Eliminate all enemies.
Non, non, j'allais prendre le fusil à pompe que j'ai récupéré, mais non, je veux pas tuer des gens. Je suis pas là pour tuer. Ouais, les attaques au corps à corps sont super efficaces. Avant, on pouvait faire l'espèce de prise de judo, là, on le faisait passer par-dessus l'épaule. Mais ouais, là, le CQ aussi, c'est très très vénère. Ok.
Metal Gear.
Ce beau gosse de Sokolov.
Are you one of Vulcan's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Il est trop beau, Snake.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of Gru.
Of Gru.
You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
Bah super.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the Gru. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power.
Oh, Volgin, il a roté.
The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America's truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts?
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Ça me fait trop rire comme ils se mettent toujours accroupis pour téléphoner.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I managed to get past them.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
Les amis, on va rencontrer le personnage, le meilleur personnage du jeu. Il est trop drôle ce colère. Vous avez vu un truc?
Freeze!
So this is the legendary boss.
C'est lui!
Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. Huh. What's a Gru soldier doing here?
Soldier?
Oh là là.
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha. That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Il est trop bien.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
Waouh! Il est trop fort. Oh, quel homme, putain.
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the Gru.
Sokolov, take cover.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you? Gru operatives? What is that stance? Huh. That gun.
Riez avec moi.
If you're not the boss,
Le mec, il aime tellement son flingue.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
Ça, c'est du CQC.
ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
C'est la catchphrase de Slot, ça. You're pretty good. C'est lui qui lui a dit d'utiliser un revolver. Et oui!
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
Ah non, je voulais qu'elle me complimente sur mon CQC impeccable.
I see you've got yourself a Baltic hornet's nest. Baltic hornets are a variety of hornets that inhabit that area. The difference between them and other hornets is that they produce honey in their nests. Inside the nests are larvae, pupa, and adults. You can eat them all. In particular, the honey you find inside the nest is delicious and full of nutrients. It's easy to digest and helps pep you up when you're feeling tired. In short, it's the perfect survival food. Honey can also be used as a burn ointment.
Mais est-ce que c'est bon?
When honey is applied to a burn, it creates a protective coating over the skin. When you knock down a hornet's nest, a burn ointment will appear along with it, so don't forget to pick it up. Of course, the hornets aren't going to give up their nest without a fight. If you knock a nest down, a large swarm of hornets will come flying out, so be careful.
Bon, allez. Où est Sokolov? Mini qui drop automatiquement un ongle emballé. Oui. C'est très bien, hein. C'est beau la nature. Ah putain, il est là. Mais...
You okay? Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best GRU has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished!
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we've got some of the best backup we could ask.
Look.
Metal Gear. Metal Gear.
Yes. The Shagohod. The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
Il est très stylé le Shagohod.
Is that thing finished?
No, this is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Oh.
Phase 2.
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, It will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
Ça va être Fallout. Ah bah oui, si ça commence à ce moment-là, ouais. Une cinématique sur un pont aussi flippant, non. Quelqu'un va tomber, c'est sûr. Boss.
Boss?
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Non, il devait être extrait par Fulton.
Hornets.
Les frelons sont pas dérangés par le vent de l'hélicoptère.
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back, boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of hell itself. It's raining blood. Is he crying?
Encore une guide de gens chelous, oui. C'est l'unité Cobra.
Kuwabara, Kuwabara.
Et voilà notre ami Volgin.
Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Volgin.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
Oh bordel. Ça c'est une fracture les amis.
He's seen my face. We can't let him live. If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished.
Quel bras cassé quand même ce Snake.
He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
C'est un piège, je lui prends pas la main. Non. Ouch.
The new blood has been rejected.
Alors croyez-le ou non, c'est pas la plus grosse chute qui va se faire dans ce jeu.
Are we done here?
Et oui, il a pris le bandana.
On to Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Vous l'avez compris, c'est le bandana.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
Ça va, Snake? C'est pas Metal Gear si ça trahit pas. Ah mais ça c'est le jeu qui parle de trahison. Allô?
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Je crois que c'est cuit pour être rentré pour le dîner de ouf.
Major. The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item, and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
Oui, chef. Je peux rien faire. Allez, c'est parti. Alors, coupure, on a dit. Il nous faut du styptique, du désinfectant, un cigare, non. Hop là, de la suture et un pansement. Ok, ensuite, coupure, pareil, pansement, suture, désinfectant, styptique, coupure, toujours la même. Os fracturé. J'ai mis un pansement. Une attelle. S'ouvre une coupure profonde. Ah, ça va mieux. Un pansement sur une fracture et on n'en parle plus. Ah mais c'est pour guider la telle justement. C'est pour mettre autour de la telle je pense. Voilà, comme ça. Ça va, Snake? Ah, il utilise le bandana comme une écharpe pour son bras. C'est pas con, ça.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Ça va, il a l'air en forme. Enfin, il a pas fini de souffrir, là. Hein. Oh, jeez, il y avait un cadavre. Ouais, alors ça balade le Shagohod.
Shagohod.
Elle a des bons yeux, je pense que c'était surtout symbolique. Oh, il s'en veut de son échec.
Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death?
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her.
Mais lui rend pas. Il est con.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
Quel gros foufou celui-là. Allez, un peu de radiation nucléaire en plus. Elle sera encore plus énorme après ça. Sans doute. Oui, je veux sauvegarder les données. Ah, ça commence fort, hein? Sur les chapeaux de roue. Ah, c'est peut-être maintenant le générique. Oui, c'est maintenant. Pardon, je voulais spoiler. What a thrill! Je vais couper mon micro pour la chanter.
Darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart. But you're so supreme.
Someday you'll feed on a tree frog.
It's ordeal, the trial to survive. For the day we see new light, I give my
ça aussi, c'est très James Bond. Genre, on disait le générique fait très générique de James Bond, mais même, il y a énormément de films James Bond où il y a une intro, un low point, il se passe un truc dramatique et générique à ce moment-là. Même la mise en scène du placement du générique, c'est du James Bond. Une semaine plus tard. C'est pas le même avion.
Currently flying over the Arctic Ocean, altitude 30,000 feet, approaching Soviet airspace. Arriving at the designated drone launch point. Drone oil pressure and voltage are nominal. Oxygen supply is nominal. Power supply to payload antifreeze system shows no problems. No gusts. All systems go for drone detachment.
Snake, we can't risk a halo jump this time around. Airspace security has gotten tighter since we were last here. We can't get as close to the ground as we did during the Vertueuse mission. So instead, we'll be using one of our newest weapons.
Ah, il porte la bandana.
You've been given an honor on par with Alan Shepard. This is our last chance. Show your patriotism. If you fail, you'll be back in a hospital bed again, waiting for the firing squad. So how does it feel to be a patient in one of the most advanced ICUs in the world?
Would you do me a favor and tell the suits about visiting hours? I'll never get better with them assaulting me day and night with their questions.
Must be part of the top brass's inquiry.
More like an interrogation. According to them, I'm a traitor and an accomplice to the boss's defection.
They're just looking for a scapegoat.
Does that mean they're after you too?
Let's just say neither one of us is going to be made a national hero out of this.
Il cherche juste un bouc émissaire. Oui, mais ils veulent me tuer.
No. This fox is still one step ahead of the hounds. The reason I came to see you today, Jack, it's time for Fox to clear its name.
What are you talking about?
The situation has changed. We've still got a chance to come out of this one alive.
Yeah, what kind of chance?
Don't get too excited. Here, have a cigar. It's Cuban. This morning, I had a meeting with the CIA.
They decided when they're going to execute us?
No. Something even bigger. Yesterday, the White House received an unexpected call.
President Johnson?
Yes, I hear you, Mr. Chairman.
It was a hotline call from Khrushchev to President Johnson.
From the head of the Soviet Union?
That's right.
A few days ago, one of our country's main design bureaus, OKB 754, was destroyed in a nuclear explosion. At about the same time, our anti-aircraft radar picked up a signature that appeared to come from one of your military aircraft. Does any of this sound familiar to you? In retaliation, I have placed our armed forces on secondary alert. Depending on your response, I may be left with no choice but to order the military to maximum alert and unleash Armageddon. With the help of your predecessor, I was able to survive the Cuban incident. But my power is not as great as it once was. If I am to survive this crisis, I must have your full cooperation.
I should have contacted you myself. Did you know that one of our soldiers defected to your country a week ago?
No.
So you haven't heard then? The man who arranged the defection was a GRU colonel by the name of Yevgeny Borosovich Volgin.
Volgin? Of the Brezhnev faction. Go on. Who is the soldier?
Her name is the Boss. She's a living legend. During World War II, she was the one who led us to victory in that war. In Russia, you know her as Voyevoda.
You mean the Boss? The mother of your special forces?
Yes, that's the one. And she took 2 miniature nuclear shells along with her.
The Boss took 2 miniature nuclear shells? Boss?
I'm afraid so. I believe they were a gift for her new hosts. The Davy Crockett Atomic Battle Group delivery system was completed 2 years ago. But serious problems were found with the launcher's range and precision. Although they were mass-produced, they've never been deployed in battle.
Et oui, parce que le Davy Crockett, c'est une merde.
Sokolow's research facility was completely wiped out. The whole area is polluted.
I can only offer you my deepest condolences over this terrible tragedy.
So, the boss, with Colonel Volgin's help, stole 2 experimental nuclear shells and took them with her as gift when she defected. Then, shortly thereafter, Sokolov's design lab, a top-secret military research facility, was destroyed by one of these weapons. Am I right so far?
Yes, that's correct.
And the American government denies any involvement in the affair. Is that right as well?
That's correct. We were not involved in any way.
Then what was a U.S. military aircraft doing on our radar screen? It was clearly in a violation of our airspace. And yet you say it was not acting under your orders.
That's correct.
You expect me to believe that this was all the work of a single soldier?
I don't know what else to tell you.
The army insists that this is all a ploy on your part.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. Our government had nothing to do with it.
And I would like dearly to believe you. However, I'm afraid my power over the military has weakened since the Cuban incident. I will need some kind of proof that this was not the action of the American government. You have 1 week. You must catch the boss yourselves and recover the remaining nuclear device. Then, you must find some way to prove your innocence.
Prove our innocence?
Yes, preferably something painful. Prove to me that this is not merely another one of your tricks.
The boss should be close to Colonel Volgin. How about a little co-action?
I would not expect too much if I were you. The political situation here is unstable. And Colonel Volgin is a member of the Brezhnev faction, which seeks to topple my government. 1 week. You have only 1 week. And if it is not too much to ask, do something about Volgin as well.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It means nothing. Call it a modest gentleman's agreement to ensure our continued relationship.
What if we can't prove our innocence?
Then I will be unable to restrain the military. I will be ousted, and they will seek their revenge.
A nuclear attack on the United States?
I leave the disposal of this situation entirely to your discretion, Mr. President.
Disposal, huh?
If you fail, it will mean the beginning of a new world war.
To put it simply, in order to avoid a full-scale nuclear conflict, we have to prove that America was not involved in that explosion.
And eliminating the boss ourselves will prove America's innocence?
Right. The higher-ups have decided that you're the only one capable of pulling this off. You were her last apprentice. Screw this one up, and we'll both be 6 feet under. There's no choice.
Are the Russians going to be helping us?
The KGB has promised to lend us one of their communications satellites so that you and I can talk to each other.
That's it?
They've also put us in touch with a couple of insiders.
Insiders?
There was a defection in September 1960. Do you remember it?
You mean the 2 NSA codebreakers who went over to the Soviet Union?
Precisely. Since then, they've apparently been training with the KGB for exactly this kind of situation. Their code names are Adam and Eva. I've been told that Adam has infiltrated Volgin's ranks. We've also arranged for him to provide you with an escape route. You'll need to rendezvous with him when you get there.
Adam et Eva, vous avez la ref? Moi je l'ai.
Unidentified aircraft detected. Altitude 30,000 feet. It's fast. Estimated airspeed exceeding Mach 3. Bearing south. I'm about to lose it.
This is Snake. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. Glad to see you landed safely.
I got blown pretty far off target.
Snake, let's go over your mission objectives one more time. Rescue Sokolov. Find out what's happened to the Shagohod, then destroy it. And finally, eliminate the boss.
Eliminate the boss.
This mission will be codenamed Operation Snake Eater.
Because I'll be taking on the boss in our Cobra unit, right?
Don't forget about Colonel Volgin.
I'm not a hired killer.
I know, but that was the Kremlin's demand.
Demand? You mean it wasn't just a request? What's it to us if the Khrushchev regime is threatened by the Colonel and his faction?
If supporting the current regime helps us avoid a nuclear exchange, then that's what we'll do.
And what are the CIA's demands?
Our priorities are the rescue of Sokolov and the destruction of the Shagohod.
Roger that, Major Tom.
Hold on, Snake.
What now?
I'm changing my codename. It turns out Tom wasn't the most auspicious choice.
What do you mean?
Well, the truth is, when I chose my codename, I picked the wrong one.
The wrong one?
Did you ever see the movie The Great Escape? It came out last year.
Oh, must have missed that one.
Anyway, it's based on a true story about prisoners
Pas
who
du tout par
escaped
rapport à Major
from
Tom, la
POW
chanson de
camp in
David
Nazi
Bowie.
Germany. The prisoners dig 3 tunnels as part of their plan, but the Nazis find 2 of the tunnels before they're finished. The prisoners succeed in escaping by using the last remaining tunnel. The names of those 3 tunnels were Dick, Harry, and Tom.
I get it. You used the name of the tunnel they escaped in as your code name because you thought it would bring you good luck.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay, Major Dick.
But I got the name wrong. The one they escaped in was Harry. Tom was one of the unlucky tunnels. It was discovered by the Nazis before it was finished. I watched the movie again just to make sure. In fact, I even ordered the actual film from the movie company.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like the greatest name to use. So what should I call you?
You know, let's just use Zero, like we've been doing all along.
All right, then. Major Zero it is. We'll start over from square one.
From square zero.
I'm
My
there!
frequency is 140.85. Oh, I almost forgot. Paramedic is with us again.
Oh non, pas elle!
Is this her last chance too?
If we fail, she'll have her medical license revoked. It's more or less the same kind of fate. Her frequency is the same as during the Vertueuse mission, 145.73. She'll be recording your mission data as well, just like the last time. That frequency is also the same, 140.96. And there's one more person on your support team.
Oh!
His name is Mr. Sigint.
Mr. Sigint!
He's an expert on the latest in weapons and equipment technology. You'll be going up against some of the world's most advanced weaponry when you infiltrate the research facility. If you have any questions, just ask him. His frequency is 148.41.
Mr. Sigint. Got it.
Adam, your KGB contact, is waiting for you at the abandoned factory up ahead.
The same factory Sokolov was being held in last week.
Yes, meet up with Adam first. He's cleared the way for you to rescue Sokolov.
How'll I know this Adam guy when I see him?
You'll know once you reach the factory. The whole area's been polluted by the fallout from that nuclear blast. No one else would dare come close. The password is, "Who are the Patriots?" and "Lali Lulelo."
Lali Lulelo. Gotcha.
Lali Lulelo.
You've been equipped with a 45 for this mission. Be careful, it's noisy.
I thought standard Fox procedure was procure on-site weapons acquisition.
The circumstances are different this time. You're now on an official mission for the United States government. It would be necessary to make your presence known to a certain extent, to the Khrushchev regime at the very least. But remember, this is still a sneaking mission. Snake, if you fail this mission, it will mean an all-out nuclear war. Keep that in mind and proceed with extreme caution.
Understood. Commencing Operation Snake Eater.
Alors, excusez-moi un instant. J'ai besoin de vérifier un truc. It's a snaking mission. Bonne vanne. Très bonne vanne. Faut que je vérifie quelque chose. « 148-39. » On va essayer un truc. Et oui, on peut écouter la radio. Et ça nous soigne. Bref. Ah, ça les enregistre, c'est bien. Alors, c'est gay.
Yo, you're Snake, aren't you?
And you're Sigint?
None other.
I heard that you're an expert on weapons, equipment, and cutting-edge technology.
Close.
Huh?
I am the expert on weapons,
il est
equipment,
jeune.
and cutting-edge technology.
Ah.
I'm the guy that designed your trank gun, active sonar, and motion detector. If you want to know anything about weapons or equipment you find in the field, just send me a message and ask. Later.
Je suppose que ça fait rien sur les fréquences des personnages de 1 et 2. Bah déjà 140-85 c'était la fréquence de Campbell. 140-96 c'était la fréquence de sauvegarde. Il y a 141-12 c'était la fréquence d'Otacon. Je vais voir. Mais je crois que les fréquences, avant que tu les débloques, elles servent à rien. Dans tous les jeux. Je suis pas sûr qu'il y ait des easter eggs avec ça. Et il y avait 141-80 aussi, c'était Meryl. Ouais, non. Alors, j'ai quoi? Ouais. Ok. Est-ce que j'ai... Ok, je n'ai pas mon... mon flingue tranquillisant. Hein. J'ai vraiment que le 9 mm. Ah, même pas de silencieux. C'est la merde, les amis. Effectivement, c'est bruyant. Il a dit vrai, le cochon. On chasse ici. Prête à bouffer un cheval. Je vais chasser un cheval, les amis. Prête à tout pour manger. Vive les canassons. Les canassons, c'est bon. Hello.
Looks like death wasn't ready for you yet.
Oh merde. Déjà. Bonjour.
That arm still hurt?
Ils ont vachement poussé en une semaine, tes cheveux. Putain. Tu fais direct brosser.
Go home. Go home. Gru and my sons are waiting up ahead. You don't have a prayer of finishing your mission. You're not even armed.
Oui, mais c'est ta faute, ça.
Boss.
Wow.
I'm not your boss anymore. There's nothing for you here. Go home. Go back to your boss. There's no need to prove that you are virtuous here. This isn't America. That should stir things up a bit. You'd better hurry. The border is 60 miles south of here. You ought to be able to run that far.
Why'd you defect?
I didn't. I'm loyal to the end, to my purpose. What about you, Jack? What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me? Your country or your old mentor? The mission or your beliefs? Your duty to your unit or your personal feelings? You don't know the truth yet. But sooner or later you'll have to choose. I don't expect you to forgive me. But you can't defeat me either. You know me too well. Just look at that bandana. If you can't put the past behind you, you won't survive long.
Ah, sa mère là.
If we meet again, I'll kill you. Now, go home.
Elle a un fétiche de me péter les os, c'est incroyable. Elle est belle la dame. Oui. C'est le
This is
boss.
Snake. Major Zero.
I read you, Snake.
I was ambushed by the boss.
You were what?
The drone's been shot to hell. It's up in flames.
That's not good. Enemy scouts are going to come looking for
C'est
you.
une ennemie du
Yeah,
squelette.
no. But what was the boss doing here in the first place? There's got to be a leak somewhere.
No, that's impossible. The man the boss is working with, Volgin, isn't exactly on speaking terms with Khrushchev.
I lost my gun. The boss destroyed it.
Snake, I know how you're feeling. It's hard for me to believe, too, that a legendary hero like the boss would go over to the Russians. That she'd double-cross us like this. But that's how it is, and if you don't accept it, you'll never be able to beat her.
That's not the problem. In terms of sheer technique, I'll never be able to beat her. I know that all too well.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your objective.
Enemy? We were together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy?
Enough. Hurry to the factory where Adam is waiting.
On a un couteau.
Scouts have probably already been sent out to investigate the explosion. You've lost your weapon, right? That means you've got no chance of winning in a battle situation. Whatever you do, don't let them see you.
Peut-être que Adam va nous donner quelque chose. J'espère. Adam. Bah ça brûle plus. Oh putain, ils sont là.
Who was that just now?
Nobody here. What the hell is this? HQ? HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We have evidence of an enemy intruder. Commence alert formation.
Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements. Use extra caution.
Littéralement un fantôme. Voilà comment on va chasser notre nourriture. Merde. Non, tu me vois pas? Je suis invisible. Cette fois-ci, je pourrais pas faire tomber les fralons. A tree frog. Paramédic, parle-moi de cette grenouille.
Paramedic.
Snake, it's so good to hear from you again.
Merci.
Same here. It's been a week, hasn't it?
4 days, actually.
Huh?
I visited you in the hospital. You were still unconscious, though.
Then you must have seen me naked.
Yeah, but you were all wrapped up in bandages and tubes, so I couldn't do anything but look.
Better luck next time.
Wesh.
Let's hope so. But seriously, don't forget that you were like that until just yesterday. In fact, you really shouldn't even be on this mission. Keep an eye on your stamina gauge. If you start to run low, don't push yourself. Eat something to replenish your stamina. And try not to get yourself hurt. If you're wounded or get bitten by a venomous animal, go into the survival viewer immediately and treat yourself using cure.
Yeah. I can see you still know how to nag.
You're welcome. And I can see you still don't know when to keep your mouth shut.
Maybe so. By the way, I heard you're going to lose your medical license if this mission fails.
Yes, there was talk of that, but the mission won't fail, will it?
Of course not.
Good. I believe in you. But you know what? I really don't care about my medical license.
Didn't they use that to force you to participate in this operation?
No, I volunteered.
Why?
So that I could watch over you.
Huh.
Snake, you're the best agent I've ever seen. But you push yourself too hard. You're reckless. Someone has to stop you from getting into trouble, to make sure you and the boss don't kill each other. So that's why I volunteered. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better guardian angel than me, right?
Thanks.
Stop right there. You can thank me when you get back.
All right.
Oh mais non, c'est de la triche.
I see him.
Ah, tu veux vraiment savoir pour la grenouille? Allez, c'est parti.
Snake, unlike the Vertueuse mission, this is a night operation. You'll be encountering nocturnal animals that you didn't encounter your last mission. Some of them are venomous, like the king cobra, so be careful. If you get bitten by a venomous animal, the poison...
M'en fous! La grenouille!
You caught a king cobra.
M'en fous du king cobra! La grenouille!
I see you caught an otten frog. The otten frog is a large, corpulent species of frog. They're known as a delicacy, so it might be worth catching them for food. The otten frog was originally found only on Amami Oshima in Japan. Frogs usually have 4 toes on their front legs, but the otten frog is unique in that it has 5.
Got it. By the way, you said they were known as a delicacy, right?
Right.
So that means they must taste pretty good, huh?
I guess so. I hear that in Japan, otten frog sashimi and sukiyaki are popular dishes.
Really?
Yeah.
Japan, huh? That place is starting to sound better and better.
Allez, on va goûter la grenouille. C'est bon. Ah bah bien sûr, faut manger. C'est de la survie. On chasse pour manger. La grenouille, elle a des pouces. Il a dit que c'était pretty tasty. Quoi, il me voit là? Ah, il a vu pendant que je me baladais. Bon, bah, on va remonter, hein. Remonte! Remonte! Salut! Oh, je déteste ce pont! Déjà, on va enlever ça. Je devienne le Joker en fait. Voilà. Vous voyez le plaisantin, c'est moi. Le Jokari. Ah putain. Y'a rien ici, y'a personne. Où es-tu, Adam? Ah. Je suis repéré.
Sorry I'm late.
Cut the engine. They'll hear us.
Are you the agent they sent?
Are you Adam? I thought you were supposed to be a man.
Adam couldn't make it.
All right, say the password. Who are the Patriots? Who are the Patriots? Answer me.
Ah. C'est la merde.
Trapped.
Get down!
Let's go, elle a un Mauser. Fun fact, c'est mon flingue préféré.
The name's Eva.
Oh putain. Snake, lève les yeux, putain. Arrête.
This wasn't part of the plan. What happened to Adam?
What's your code name?
It's Snake.
Snake, huh? Well, I'm Eva. Are you here to tempt me?
Ah.
What happened to Adam?
Il cache ça dans son érection.
Colonel Volgan is a very suspicious man. He decided Adam wasn't the right person for this mission.
And you were?
Yes,
Why?
because I can do things he can't.
I heard you used to be a codebreaker for the NSA.
I was. 4 years ago, I defected to the Soviet Union with Adam.
Mauser military. The broom handle.
It packs quite a punch. Nice to have when you're on a bike.
You held it sideways and used the muzzle jump to create a horizontal sweep. That was impressive.
Bet you've never seen that technique in the West.
It's imitation, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a Chinese Type 17 pistol. Around here, even that's hard to come by. Don't worry, though. The one I've got for you is American-made.
.45, huh?
L'homosexualité de Snake.
Do you like it?
The feeding ramp is polished to a mirror sheen. The slide's been reinforced, and the interlock with the frame is tightened for added precision. The sight system is original too. The thumb safety is extended to make it easier on the finger. A long type trigger with non-slip grooves. A ring hammer. The base of the trigger guard's been filed down for a higher grip. And not only that, nearly every part of this gun has been expertly crafted and customized. Where'd you get something like this?
I grabbed it from a Western munitions armory. It probably used to belong to one of your officers, and there are more where that came from. You had this with you, didn't you? Better take this too.
What's that?
A disguise to make you look like a scientist.
A disguise?
Avec sa gueule?
Yes. You're here to rescue Sokolov, right?
Sokolov's still safe then.
Yes. He's being forced to continue his work on the Shagohod.
Where?
At the lab. They've got a whole army of scientists there developing new weapons. Security is tight, but if you disguise yourself as a scientist, you might be able to sneak in.
Can we get Sokolov out of there?
We'll see, won't we?
Tell me how to get to the lab.
The safest way in is from the rear.
Tu veux dire qu'il a trop une tête d'idiot? Non, il a une tête de soldat. Et oui, il a une
You'll
tête
come
d'idiot.
to a heliport used for shipping materials. Pass the heliport and continue north, and there will be a large crevice. Descend into that area, and you'll reach a cave. Move through the cave, and you will arrive at a mangrove swamp.
Écoute ce qu'elle
After the
dit.
swamp, there'll be a warehouse. Make your way through the warehouse, and you'll come out just south of the lab.
Got it.
And just what are you doing there?
In close-range combat, a knife can sometimes be more useful than a gun. By doing this, I'll be able to hold a knife at the same time and still keep the gun steady. That way, I can instantly switch between a gun battle and a knife fight. Right, let's get going.
Wait a minute.
What now?
You must be tired. Why don't you take a little rest?
I'll be fine.
You'll never make it in your condition. It's a jungle out there. There's still an hour before dawn. It's dangerous to be out in the jungle at night without a guide.
What about you?
I have to get back. I can't be gone for too long. They'll start to suspect something. Don't worry. I'll keep you updated over the radio.
That's it?
My orders are to provide you with information, nothing more.
Oh.
You look disappointed. All right, then. I'll do something special for you. I'll stand watch until dawn. Now be a good boy and lie down. What's the matter?
I don't know you well enough to trust you.
How well do you have to know me to trust me?
I don't know if I can trust anybody.
Mais vous... Il a été trahi et il le vit pas bien.
Gonna get that?
She's right, Snake. You should get some sleep. Although in your condition, you really ought to be back in the ICU. Whenever you save the game and quit, you'll go to sleep. Sleeping allows you to gain back stamina naturally. Depending on how long you sleep, you may also recover naturally from sickness and injury. When you're tired or hurt, the best thing to do is just get some sleep. So do yourself a favor and take a nap. Doctor's orders, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Ça veut dire que là, on va dormir une semaine si on arrête de jouer maintenant. Enfin, quand on va arrêter de jouer. Elle est en train de te trahir. Oh! Espèce de porve.
What's the matter?
We're surrounded. I see 4 of them.
Encore des mecs du groupe.
We've got company. It's the Ocelot unit. Let's get out of here. Hurry. Don't forget your gear.
Metal Gear.
Here, give me a hand.
Vous pensez qu'il va être là à nouveau?
We can use this to get to the basement.
Oh, c'est lui.
Damn it. Ocelot.
Nom d'une pipe.
I'll get past them on my bike. I'll call you later.
Okay, I'll keep them busy. Huh?
Don't go dying on me now.
Sacrebleu! Je vais vous montrer un truc rigolo. Ah, quoique, je crois que c'était dans la Mission Vertueuse, c'est pas maintenant. Alors. Eh ben, j'ai bien fait de prendre la trappe. Hein. Le gars m'a vu direct, quoi. C'est pas grave, je leur ai tendu un piège.
Those rifles the ocelots are using.
When you have a serious...
Ils ont rien d'intéressant à dire. Genre il m'a vu. Bon allez, flemme de vous chercher là les deux. Vous êtes là, c'est ça? Non. Vous êtes où? Oh, super. Mais où il est? Je deviens fou. Mais c'est pas possible. Il est nulle part. Ah putain, je sais où il est. Merde. Je sais où il est. Il est sur le toit. Non? Ah, voilà. Vu, trop de balles. Ça a fait dodo. Bon, plus qu'un. Où est le dernier? Voilà, t'es sûr. Allez. C'est bon. Guérir. Ah, nous avons une brûlure. Il faut donc utiliser de l'eau. Voilà. Ah, il faut que je mange un truc aussi. Faut que je mange un truc. On va manger un python réticulé. Il le mange cru. Je viens d'avoir le succès Snake Eater, manger n'importe quel serpent. Ok. Bon. Tasty. Oh putain.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Il a un revolver.
That's it. That's the stance. I don't think so. What? A female spy? This bitch is wearing perfume. Stay where you are. I've had enough of your judo.
I see you've got yourself a single-action army.
That's right. There'll be no accidents this time.
You call that an accident? Well, it wouldn't have happened if you hadn't been showing off.
What did you say?
It's a nice gun, I'll give you that. But the engraving gives you no tactical advantage whatsoever. Unless you were planning to auction it off as a collector's item. And you're forgetting one more very basic thing. You don't have what it takes to kill me.
We'll see.
Pauvre slot.
6 shots. That thing only carries 6 shots. The Makarov carries 8. You have to get a feel for how many you have left.
Oh, il se fait tellement humilier, c'est horrible.
This is a high-class weapon. It's not meant for shooting people.
This isn't over yet.
Burn.
Don't.
Why?
He's still young.
You'll regret stopping me. Damn it! I've got to get back before he does.
Oh, la frimeuse. La grosse marque de pneus sur son visage, ouais. Vraiment un fond de caleçon.
Do you want to save?
Oui, madame. On va s'arrêter pour aujourd'hui. On va donc écouter une dernière histoire sur un film. Allez, paramédic, raconte-moi un truc.
Snake, do you know the creature from the Black Lagoon?
Oui.
Nope, never heard of it.
These scientists are investigating a place deep in the Amazon called the Black Lagoon, and they get picked off one after the other by this fishman thing. And there was this scene when the heroine is going for a swim, and the creature sneaks up on her from underwater. Oh, I thought my heart was going to stop. I mean, of course, the 3D effects in It Came from Outer Space were a lot more intense, but...
It wouldn't be referring to you coming from outer space, would it?
How rude! Why do you say that?
Because no one on Earth could be as charming as you.
Oh là là!
Fine, I'll just get to the point, Snake. Be careful of what's around you when you're in the water. Just imagining you swimming in those jungle rivers makes me think of you being attacked by a fishman.
I appreciate the concern.
Fishmen aren't the only things that'll attack you in the water. Really be careful out there.
Okay.
And don't be attacking any pretty girls going for a swim, either.
Are you calling me a fishman?
You started it.
Et ce sera tout pour aujourd'hui. Merci d'avoir suivi cette VOD. On se retrouve bientôt pour la suite. J'ai hâte. Et si vous avez aimé la vidéo, aimez la vidéo. Si vous avez aimé la vidéo, laissez un commentaire sous la vidéo. Ça aide vraiment pour le référencement. Ce serait gentil. Et si vous avez aimé la vidéo, abonnez-vous à la vidéaste. Et on se voit à la prochaine vidéo. Et parlez-en autour de vous. Allez, salut.